So let's start. Last day I have created the class, but I couldn't start the program. Okay. So import java.util semicolon. Okay. So you have your main function public static void main. Okay. So firstly, we will create two array.
We will create.
Okay, we'll create two array. One is A. Okay, I will do the declaration part all together. New integer, let's say giving the size of 15, not more than that. Okay, and then I'll create the second array B, which is equal to new of the same size 15. Okay, now if we have to perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication of two arrays, okay, always remember both the array should have equal number of it will have equal number of elements. That is, if in array A, if I have 5 elements, in array B also I need to have 5 elements. Okay, so what I will do to avoid this confusion, I will take one limited variable that will identify the limitation of total number of variable which will be stored in the array, and the same variable will be used for both A and B. How? Okay, let me just give a comment line statement to understand. Declaring to array. Okay, and now I'm going to declare few variable. Here variable. One is integer limit. That is how many values I want to insert in the array. Okay, and another is the looping variable, that is I. You have already seen that in the array concept we all have to use the for loop concept whenever we are inserting any value or we are performing any calculation. Okay, and also since we are performing the addition, so I will take sum is equal to 0. For multiplication, let's say product is equal to 1. To perform subtraction, okay, to perform subtraction, let's say I take a difference is equal to 0. Okay, so now let's start off with the program. Firstly, we have to insert the limit. So I'll put a system out print. Okay, enter the limit. Sorry, enter the limit of the array. Okay, and with the help of the scanner class, we will take system.in. Okay, now we'll take the value of the limit from the user. Limit is equal to sc dot next int. If we are using the buffer reader input output package, then this line would have been written as limit is equal to integer dot percent br dot read line. Okay. So this is the difference between the input output package and this part. Okay, so now since we have taken the limit, so we will start off with the loop by entering the elements in the first array. Okay, so in the first array, how we will enter? We'll give a printing statement to identify which elements belongs to which part of the array. So enter the elements in the array, and we'll give a next line statement. We'll start off with the loop now, inserting elements in array A. So in the first array, we are going to insert the elements in the array. We'll start with the loop for I is equal to 0, I less than limit, okay, I less than limit and I plus plus. Curly braces open, system out print, to identify the index position also. That is why we use this kind of insertion process in the array, plus I plus, okay, and then inverted comma close, okay, array of I is equal to sc dot next int, and we will have system out print. We'll just give print ln also you can use in the substitute of this particular line, or else system out print slash n. Okay, so this part is what? This part is the insertion of the elements in the array A. We will repeat exactly the same process by giving another printing statement to insert the elements for okay, we haven't mentioned here, so we'll mention this in array A. This will be array B. Okay, so we'll repeat exactly the entire process. We'll just change the value of the variable. So I'm just copy and pasting it. Okay, this time insert the elements in the B, and this will become the B array, and this part will also become a B array. So basically, as you can see, inserting the elements in the array B and array A. So my both the arrays A and B are absolutely ready. Okay, now step by step I will show you. First we will perform the addition of the both the array. Okay, so to perform addition of two arrays, okay, so to perform that, we will again start with a loop. Always remember, array concept is all about looping. Okay, so I'm just pasting this part. I is equal to 0, I less than limit, I plus plus, and what I will do, I'll write sum is equal to array of I, that is the element of the first array will get added up with the element of the second array. Okay, the element of the first array will get added with the elements in the second array, and once it is get printed, once it get calculated, what we will do, we'll use a printing statement, system out print, okay, array of I, okay, plus B of I, that is addition of two numbers, that is this part represent the element of the first array and this represent element of the second array. When you plus it, then it gives you the result plus, that is equals to sum. Okay, and once the addition of the two numbers is printed, we will do what? We will make sum is equal to 0. You know why we are making this sum is equal to 0? Otherwise, when the new number of the array A and the new number of array B will be added, then the previous sum value will get carry forward. For example, in the first cases, we are adding 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So the value of sum is equal to 4. But in the next case, suppose array of I means the first array contain the elements 3 and this carry 3. So 3 plus 3, 6, and also the previous value 4 will be carried forward. So 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So 10 cannot be the result. Okay, so that is why we, after we perform the entire addition, what we will do after printing the result of the sum, we will make the value of sum is equal to 0, and that is how we close the loop. Okay, so this is how we perform the addition of the two arrays. Okay, and this is the conclusion of the program. So in the, what are the stages that we are doing? Firstly, we are taking the limit, that how many elements should be entered into the array. This is the limit part. Okay, and after that, what we are doing, we are inserting the elements in the array in this sequence. Okay, this is the part of first array and this is the part of the second array. Okay, not this part, this particular part. Okay, now this part is the first array where the elements are being entered. If I scroll it down, this is the second part where we are entering the elements in the second array, and after that we are performing the addition. How we are performing the addition? The array of I and the B of I. Okay, now let's compile it. No syntax error. Now we will run the program and check. Okay, how many elements will required? We will start with a very small value. Let's say 3. Okay, so the maximum number of elements each array will consist is the 3. So the index number will be 0, 1, and 2. So please note down this output so that you can understand properly. Okay, so in the first array we are entering, let's say 10, and then in the second value we are taking 12 and 13 as the third number. Now we are entering the elements in the B array. So the first is 8, second is 17, third is 9. Okay, so after performing the addition, basically how many result we are supposed to get? Can anyone tell me? How many result we are
Result.
huh?
3.
3 result.
3.
Okay, so let's check. Okay, it is actually little bit confused because of my improper writing of the printing statement, but as you can see, you can perform the addition by yourself. 10 plus 8 is 18, 12 plus 17 is 29, and 13 plus 9 is 22. So see, 10 plus 8 is equal to 18, 12 plus 17 equal to 29, 13 plus 9 is equal to 22. Okay, so just I would like to modify this output part by changing my printing statement part so that the things are clearly visible. See how am I printing? This modification implementation is very much required, otherwise, so I just have to place a /n out here.
तो मैंने तो इसमें भी वो हो रहा है, ये सब पेंट में होता ही है। अच्छा इसमें भी अब
Okay, so now if I compile it, now let's run the program again. This time we'll take a little further elements, that is number of elements 4. Okay, so let's take 20, 30, 40, maybe 40 and 50. Okay, in the next set of the elements we are taking, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. So 20 plus 10 is equal to 30, 30 plus 20 equal to 50, 40 plus 30 equal to 70, 50 plus 40 equal to 90. Okay, now how did I obtain this result? Mind you, this is the way of practicing different types of writing the printing statement. This is the one of the toughest section of writing the printing statement, because if your operator get misplaced in one place or the other, you have to know how to improvise your printing statement according to your requirement. Okay, if I take you to the programming part, see, this is a technique of writing. Now see, this technique is not appropriate for the all the programs. The thing is that according to the requirement of the program, try to understand, according to the requirement of the program, your printing statement will vary. So how will you present your output? That is also a skill that you have to learn and you have to practice, which also carry marks. Every program marks is 15, and out of this 15 marks, you in the examination it carries 2 marks. I repeat, 2 marks for your presentation also. So this 2 marks is very, very essential that you have to keep in mind while you write a program. So this is basically how you write the program to perform the addition of 2 arrays elements. Okay, now we will perform the product part. To perform the product part, what I will do is that I'll keep it as it is, but I'll just disable this line. Okay, and I'll write a separate set of the code. To instead of writing addition, we'll perform multiplication. I'll write multiplication. Okay, now the process is exactly same. I'll copy this entire part. Till this part, and I'll paste it and make them required changes. Instead of plus, I'll write multiplication here, and we're using the product variable, so PRO, product. Okay, and out here multiplication.
So product is equals to 0. It should be 1, right?
No, product is 0 outside. Product is 0 outside. Product is 0 outside. Okay,
product should be 1, right? Otherwise
no, here why I'm making 0, so that the previous value of the product value get diminished, it becomes blank, because the multiplication which is performing is not with the product variable, it is performing between 2 elements of the 2 array. So that is why I'm making the 0 here, only because when the loop finishes, the compiler comes out, compiler will automatically gets the product value 1 outside the loop, na? Where I have written during the initialization and the declaration part. So one time when the loop finishes, when the compiler comes out, automatically the product value becomes 1. I am making product value 0 within the loop, not outside the loop. Yes or no? So once it comes out, automatically the product value becomes 1, because outside the loop it is already mentioned that the product value is 1. Okay, so now this is how we are going to check the output. Let's compile it. I hope everything is okay. Yes, so we'll check the output, enter the limit of the array. We'll start with the 3 numbers. Let's make a small array, 10, 20, 30, and for this let's say 20, 30 and 40. So now if you perform the multiplication, 10 into 20, 200, 20 into 30, 600, 30 into 40, 1200. So this is how, see, this part remains the same. Entering the limit, enter the elements in the array. This part remain exactly same what I have done for the addition function. Only part which I have changed is that in the addition part, we have the plus operators out here, and this output which is obtained is from the sum variable. But in this case, we have used the product variable, PRO product, okay, to store the output variable, and instead of the addition, we have just make the minor change of multiplication. So this is how you can actually perform the operation of the addition and the multiplication of two array. Now, what did I say last time? That we were unable to perform the subtraction, okay, the subtraction of both the elements present in the two of the array. Now, if we have to perform the subtraction, okay, to perform the subtraction, what I will do, what we will do is that, again, I will disable this part, and I'll make the necessary changes, that is to perform the subtraction, to perform subtraction. To perform subtraction. Now there is two way of subtraction, that is either the first matrix to be subtracted from second, or the second matrix is subtracted from the first matrix. So both can be performed here. So we'll perform the both, okay. So how do we do it? For the subtraction, we have taken the variable called limit, okay. So we'll start with the loop here. Everything will remain same as it is, okay. You have the limit part. Now difference, okay. Difference, first I'm performing what? A minus B, that is the first matrix minus second matrix, okay. This is first matrix minus second matrix, okay. Now let's compile it. No syntax error, okay. We'll run the program, enter the limit. We will take, say, four elements in the array. So 18, we will take combination of numbers so that we can get the positive result as well as the negative result. So 18, 5, 16, 24, okay. Now in the second matrix, we take, let's say, 25, let's say 12, 20. So 18 minus 20 is minus 2, 5 minus 5 is 0, 16 minus 12 is 4, and 24 minus 20 is also 4. So see, this is the one way of the subtraction which can be performed in the while using the two array. So subtraction is always can be performed when you have the two array elements, okay. Now to just modify these changes, okay, what we can do is that we can try with just the reverse process, where this time it will not be A minus B, it will become B minus A, B minus A, just to see whether we get the proper results or not, okay. B minus A. Let's run the program, compile, no error. So enter the limit. We are taking 4 elements this time, okay. So let's say 6, 7, 9, 15. First elements taken, second elements 8. Sorry. Now why this error is coming? Because I have taken an invalid value 8 slash, okay. So I have to rerun the program, okay. So compile it, no syntax error. Wait a minute. Okay, you can just reduce it part. Enter the limit, 4 elements, okay. First value 12, 13, say 50, 40, and in the second, let's say we take 20, 25, 60, 50. So what do we get the result? 20 minus 12 is 8, 25 minus 13 is 12, 60 minus 50 is 10, and 50 minus 40 is 10. So see, we can perform the multiplication, we can perform subtraction, we can perform addition when we have minimum 2 arrays. This can also be performed using the three arrays also. Okay, that time we need to have the third array, the different set of elements to be taken for the third array. So this is all the basically the applications of the different arrays. Okay, I'll post this program on this on your this part, okay, in the classroom, so that you can note it down if you haven't copied yet. Okay, now one more thing, that is apart from this set of the application, there were couple of application more, that is just a second. Okay, so we have done the array subtraction multiplication of the array using multiple array. We have done it using single array. Now displaying the odd elements and the even elements, for this you need only one array to perform. Okay, you just have to take one single array, and then I think we have done this program also earlier. Okay, so let's just check it out. Even array, as you can see, this is like already shown in the particular question. This is done, that enter the elements in the array elements has been entered, and then you are printing the value of the array, and then you are printing the value at the even position. Okay, now we will make couple of changes in this particular program also. Like this is what this says, that not the even index, this says that whatever the numbers are there in the array. Let me just elaborate this question using the whiteboard. Okay. Now there is two way of reading the question. Number one, you have an array. I won't take much of time, just wait. You have an array. Okay, let's say in that array you have 5 numbers: 10, 1, 3, 5, and 12. Let us consider this is the array. Okay, now two questions can be performed here. Number one, print the numbers at even position. This is the first question. Print the numbers in the even position. Okay, and number two, print the even numbers, print the even numbers of array. Print the even numbers of the array. So two ways of performing the questions, not two different application can be performed in this particular question. That is, in the first question it says that you have to print the number at the even position. So when you talk about the even position, the first thing is that the index number come into play, that you have to find out the index position where the in which particular index position is the even number. Okay, if the index is if the index position is an even number, then that particular element in the element will be displayed. Now mind you, print the numbers at the even position doesn't mean, listen it very carefully, printing the numbers at the even position doesn't mean that all the output which will be obtained will be the even number. It can be odd numbers also. It can be the odd number. You are printing the numbers of the even position. This set of the keywords is very, very important when you study and you observe. Because if you misread the question, the biggest mistake that you will commit is to imply your logic in the program. So first thing, you have to understand that you read the question properly. It is asked that you have to print the numbers in the even position. Now in the even position, there can be odd number as well as there can be the even number. In the second question, when it is asked print the even numbers of the array, that means in your array, if there is only even numbers, only those even numbers will be displayed, no odd numbers. So if I ask you the difference between the output, in this output, what is the index position? Before that, we see 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay. Now, as per the index position, which are the even index position? You have 0, you have 2, you have 4. So that means in the first set of the output, in the first question, your output will be 10, 3, and 12. Why 10, 3, and 12? Because 10, 3, and 12 are placed in the even position, that is even index 0, 2, and 4. Okay. But in the second set of the output, if I ask you print the even numbers of the array, that means your output will be only 10 and 12, because 10 and 12 are the only even numbers in the entire array. So please understand this output. This is your homework. You have to write 2 programs, that is create the array. Okay, insert some numbers into the array. First question is that print the number at the even position. Okay, and the second question is print the even numbers of the array. Okay, this is your homework. I will post it in the Google Classroom to be submitted by this Saturday. Okay, Saturday in the morning, I want everyone to submit your homework. Okay, fine. With this, we conclude the class. You can please move on to your next class. Thank you very much.